You are standing in the private banking lounge on the 42nd floor, and the man across the glass table just slid a number across to you that has 8 figures on it. $23 million. That's your net worth now on paper after the company's sale closed this morning. And here is the part nobody warned you about. You feel almost nothing. No fireworks, no confetti. Just a quiet handshake, a glass of sparkling water with a slice of cucumber in it, and a man in a navy suit calling you sir in a way that feels rehearsed. You thought reaching the 1% would feel like arriving somewhere. Instead, it feels like a door opening onto a hallway with 100 more doors, and every one of them is locked from the inside. Because here's the secret the media never shows you. When they talk about wealth, they show you the billionaire. The yacht, the rocket, the magazine cover. They make you believe that's the summit. It isn't. There is an entire architecture of power stacked above the billionaire, floors you've never been allowed to see, and most people who get rich never even learn those floors exist. Stay with me, because by the time we climb to the top of this ladder, you're going to understand why the richest people on earth are the ones whose names you will never once hear spoken out loud. Let's start where you actually are. Level 1. The multi-millionaire, $23 million. This is the level everyone fantasizes about, and honestly, it deserves the hype. Because at this level, money stops being a source of fear and becomes a source of options. You wake up in a 4-bedroom home that is fully paid off, no mortgage, no number hanging over your head at 3 in the morning. Your car in the garage is a Porsche, not because you need it but because one Tuesday you decided you wanted it and the decision took about as long as ordering coffee. You fly business class without checking the price. You eat at the restaurant with the 8-week waiting list because someone on your assistant's team knows someone. This is the life of total personal comfort. Whatever you, as a single human being with one body and one stomach, could ever want to consume, you can now afford. That is the real superpower of the multimillionaire. You have bought your way out of every daily anxiety that runs the lives of normal people, but feel the edge of it because there is one. At 23 million, you can buy things. You cannot yet buy people's time at scale. You still answer your own emails. You still wait on hold occasionally. And when you walk into a room of genuinely powerful people, you quickly realize something humbling. You are a customer, a valued one, but a customer. The world is still happening to you. You haven't started bending it yet, which brings us to level 2. The billionaire. Add 3 zeros, $1 billion. This is not the same game played at a bigger table. It is an entirely different game, because $1 billion is so much money that you physically cannot spend it on yourself. Do the math with me. If you try to spend $1 million every single week, it would take you over 19 years just to run through it, and that's assuming it isn't growing, which it is, faster than you could ever burn it. So consumption stops being the point. The yacht. You buy it, sure. A 200-foot vessel with a crew of 30, costing you $400,000 a month just to keep floating. But here's what actually changes. You stop owning things and you start owning the things that make things. At this level, you don't fly business class. You walk across a private tarmac and step onto your own Gulfstream, and the concept of a security line, a gate, a boarding group, those words no longer apply to you. You don't wait for anything, ever. Your time has become the most valuable currency on Earth, and so an entire human infrastructure assembles around protecting it. A chief of staff. A family office with a dozen analysts managing your capital. People whose entire careers exist to make sure your day has zero friction in it. And the world begins to tilt toward you. The senator takes your call. The university puts your name on a building. You are no longer a customer. You have become a force, and people adjust their behavior in advance just because you exist in the room. But even here, and this matters, you are still visible. You're on the list. The Forbes list, ranked and counted and photographed. You are powerful, but you are known, and being known means you can be watched, regulated, pressured, dragged in front of a committee. You are a celebrity of money. And celebrities, no matter how rich, still answer to something. Which is exactly why we have to climb to level 3. The multi-billionaire. Now we cross into the tens of billions, 50 billion, 100 billion, and something strange happens to the nature of your wealth here. It stops being money at all. It becomes infrastructure. At this level, you don't own a company, you own the rails that other companies are forced to run on. You own the payment network, the cloud servers, the shipping lanes, the search engine, the thing that 10,000 other businesses cannot survive without. Your wealth is no longer a number in an account. It's woven into the operating system of the modern world, and that gives you a kind of leverage the billionaire could only dream about. At $50 billion, you don't lobby the government anymore. You negotiate with it. When a country wants your factory, your data center, your investment, presidents fly to you. You sit across from heads of state not as a supplicant but as a peer, because the truth is uncomfortable and simple. Your decisions move more lives than most of their policies do. You can flip a switch and 20,000 jobs appear in a city that desperately needs them, or vanish. Whole regional economies orient themselves around what you decide to build and where. You shape national conversations not by speaking loudly but by owning the platforms on which speaking happens. Feel the weight of that. At this level, you are no longer participating in the world. You are quietly editing it. And yet here is the thing that keeps even the multi-billionaire awake. You are still mortal and still visible. Your name is still spoken. Your face is still on the screen when something goes wrong. You can be subpoenaed. Your wealth, however enormous, is still tied to your name, your reputation, your single human lifespan. When you die, the headlines run, the estate gets carved up, the lawyers descend, and the machine you built may not survive the splitting. Visible power is power that can be taken, and the people above you figured that out generations ago. Which brings us finally to level 4, the trillionaire dynasty. And I want you to understand something before we step through this door. This level is not about a bigger number. It is about disappearing. You will not find these people on any list. Forbes does not rank them because their wealth has no single owner to point at. It sits inside a lattice of foundations, trusts, holding companies, and entities registered in places whose names you've never had reason to learn. Structures designed across 3 or 4 generations by armies of lawyers whose only job was to make the money stop having a face. The fortune isn't a person anymore. It's an institution that happens to be owned by a bloodline, and institutions don't die. That's the entire trick. The billionaire fears death because death splits his empire. The dynasty has already solved death. The wealth simply flows from one generation to the next inside the same unbroken vessel, untaxed, unphotographed, unspoken. Picture the actual texture of this life. You don't own a yacht. Yachts are loud. Yachts get noticed. You own a valley in the Alps that has no name on any tourist map, reached by a road that simply ends at a gate. You don't appear at galas. The galas exist because of a quiet grant from a foundation 3 layers removed from your name. When a war needs financing, when a currency needs defending, when a new technology needs to be born or buried, the capital that moves is yours, but it arrives wearing the costume of a bank, a fund, a sovereign entity. You have achieved the final form of power, which is influence without exposure. You shape the century while remaining, to the public eye, no one at all. And here is the part that should land in your chest. At this level, money is not even the point anymore. The point is continuity. The point is that in 80 years, when you are dust, your great-grandchild will sit in a room you will never see, holding power they did not earn and cannot lose, because you built a machine that converts time itself into advantage. You are not buying things. You are not buying companies. You are buying centuries. So let's go back to that 42nd floor. Back to you, $23 million richer, holding a glass of sparkling water with a slice of cucumber in it, feeling that strange flat nothing where the fireworks were supposed to be. Now you understand why. That quiet you felt wasn't disappointment. It was your first honest glimpse up the staircase. The realization that the door you just opened leads to 100 more, and that the people on the top floor arranged it that way on purpose. They let you believe the billionaire is the summit because a visible summit keeps everyone climbing toward the wrong peak. The real power was never the name on the magazine cover. It was the name that was never printed at all. So when they show you the yacht and the rocket and tell you that's the top, smile, sip your water, and remember. The highest floor doesn't have a view. It has a curtain. And the richest people on earth are the ones standing behind it, watching you look up at the wrong sky.